expressed on the following program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership.
Phoenix, Brother Mike's back on the radio. Hey, welcome to HardcoreChristianity.com. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us today. Today's Bible study, males versus females. Yeah, that doesn't sound like much of a Bible study, does it? Hey, believe it or not, that's a big deal now. Hey, this is Brother Mike. I'm the professional counselor at the Arizona Deliverance Center in Central Phoenix. We're on 15th Avenue, just south of Osborne Road. On the website, HardcoreChristianity.com, we have all of our ministry services there. 2 live services every week, Thursday nights, 7 p.m., Friday nights, 7 p.m. Both of them are broadcast on our YouTube channel, live, 7 p.m. Pacific and 10 p.m. Eastern during the summer months. On our website, you can hit our Facebook pages. We have 2 groups, Hardcore Christianity and Blessings. Blessings is an interesting group. It contains all of our miraculous testimonies of healing. You might want to read one of those for encouragement. Free seminars coming up in October, end of the month, on familiar spirits. Those are the demons that are going to take over the world and usher in the Antichrist. You won't want to miss that seminar. Don't forget about the PayPal button. Thank you so much for all your donations. May God richly bless you. Males and females, is there a difference? Wow. Our society is going completely demonically insane. There's now, I think, over 70 different sexes. There's not 2 sexes anymore, males and females. There's, I believe, over 70. That list keeps growing. I may not have kept up with it properly. But the whole thing is a demonic scam. The whole thing is a demonic scam. After the legitimization of homosexuality here in America, the next move Satan made, and he's an expert chess player, was transgendered. Okay? All these things are caused by lust demons and rejection spirits. These spirits get into the bodies and the brains of children, either in the womb or when they're young, or during periods of abuse, and they morph the child's sexuality during puberty. It happens all the time. They actually think they're gay. They actually think they're the other sex. But the whole thing is a demonic ruse. Deliverance is a cure for this. People actually think they're gay or they're a different sex. Now the question is, what sex am I? I got 70 to choose from. You do not. Medical science has proven that God created males and females differently, and there isn't any way to lie your way out of it. The transgendered phenomena that's sweeping our country is a money-making scam on the part of psychiatry and the medical field. The medical field gets to make money on surgeries, medications, hormones, estrogen, everything. They're all making money on it. They're now letting children, grade schoolers, doctors are actually authorizing it. Transgendered surgeries and medications to change the person's sex. Folks, it's all promulgated by Satan. He's a supernatural genius, and he's outsmarting humanity. But science reveals some of the truths. There's a difference between a man and a woman and males and females. What is those different? Well, scientific fact number 1, in males, fat gets deposited between organs. In females, it forms a ring around the abdomen. This is why you can typically tell someone's sex from an MRI. It also reveals why liposuction is much easier in females. Scientific fact number 2, blood flow is more evenly distributed in the male body. In females, it is concentrated around the core organs and the pelvic region. Medical science fact number 3, there are about 1,000 genes that vary between males and females with regard to the liver alone. This is why sexes process everything from alcohol to Tylenol at different rates. Scientific fact number 4, the male jawbone is heavier than the female jawbone. Scientific fact number 5, the top edge of the eye socket is much sharper in females than in males. Scientific fact number 6, females have better peripheral vision than males, while males are better at scanning visually. Fact number 7, females' blood contains more water and about 20% less red cells than male blood. You can tell a male from a female in a blood test. Number 8, let's go to the brain. The females often have a larger hippocampus. The hippocampus is the section of the brain that is designed for memory. The right and left hemispheres of the male and female brains are not set up the same way. Females tend to have verbal centers on both sides of the brain, while males tend to have verbal centers on only the left hemisphere. You can do an autopsy and look at a brain and tell if the person is a male or a female. Scientific fact number 9, sex refers to biological differences between males and females. For example, chromosomes. Females have 2 X chromosomes, males have an X and Y chromosome. Reproductive organs are different. Ovaries versus testicles. Hormones are different. Duh! What in the world is all this? I think I'm going to stop with the list there. I've had enough of those scientific differences. If you go into the brain and the research they've done on the brain, oh man, there's many differences between males and females. Looking at the brain and how the mind does processing. Check it out. Genesis chapter 1. Let's go to the expert. It says here, Elohim said, God said, it's the Hebrew word Elohim, let us make man in our image. That's the Hebrew word selem. It means shade or resemblance. In other words, if the sun were shining on you and you looked behind you, you would see your shade, legs, arms, torso, head. Selem. It says, let us make man after our likeness. Hebrew word demuth. Demuth means something that resembles something else, something in similar shape or form. Let them have dominion over the fish and the cows and the cattle and the creeping things and everything else. You know the verse, you read it many times. So God created man in his own image, Salem. And in the image of God created he him. Male and female, he created them. There are not 72 sexes. Friend, listen to me. There's only 2. God says there's only 2. The rest of this is demonic psychiatry and demonic medical lies. None of it's real. It's all a fraud. Excuse me. Genesis chapter 2. The Lord God, that's in Hebrew, Yahweh Elohim, caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept, and he took one of Adam's ribs, and closed up the flesh. And the rib which Yahweh Elohim had taken from man, he made a woman. and brought her to the man. Now listen carefully. The Hebrew word, when it says God made man, was asha. That means the general term to make something, create something, and make something. The Hebrew word here, however, for females is banah. It means to skillfully make, to skillfully made. What the verse is saying here, Genesis chapter 2, that it required more skill to make a female than it did a male. Now, it doesn't say why, but I have my own personal opinion on it. I believe it's the reproductive system. Women are capable of giving life, and males are not. So to me, the womb and the life-giving qualities that females have that males do not have required more skill on the part of Yahweh Elohim to make than it did Adam. That's what the verse is saying. But the bottom line here, and it's pretty clear, there's only two sexes. There's only two. The transgendered phenomenon that we're facing now, and it's going to eventually become accepted and normal. The crazed insanity of bathrooms, we went through that in 2017 really bad. None of this stuff's going to change because the devil's not going to let up on it. He's going to keep pounding this through our society, and what his goal is to eliminate human sexuality. He wants everybody to think that a person is a clean slate when they fall out of the womb, and they decide their sex. They decide what sex they are. Of course, it's 100% a satanic lie. You can't choose your sex any more than you could choose your race. Now, you can choose your hair color by coloring it, but you can't choose the color that comes out of your head. The whole thing is a crock. And the devil's going to keep pounding that on us. And if you are having sexual identity problems, you're eligible for free counseling services. The Arizona Deliverance Center, 602-636-5800. We would be happy to help you with this. It's a serious problem in our society, and it is expanding like wildfire. The devil's not going to let up on it. He's coming for us.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership. This program was sponsored by Michael W. Smith.